everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Kassandra, and today we'll be doing a post-workout cool down, so a great class to do after you've already worked out. Begin in a wide-legged child's pose and make sure that you have one block for our practice. So in your child's pose, you want your big toes to be together, your knees to fall apart, you walk your hands forward, and you relax the forehead down to the floor. Depending on how tight your hips are, you might need to bring your knees a little closer in together. And we'll only be using the block toward the end of our practice. If you don't happen to have one, that's perfectly fine. Just a big cushion will work as well. So in this practice, we're looking to open up the shoulders and the hips and give ourselves an overall stretch while slowing down the heart rate so we can just relax and start to unwind from whatever form of exercise we've done before. Start to deepen your breath in this pose, in and out through the nose. Feel your hips get heavier, pressing to your heels. Soften your shoulders. Try to relax. Drawing the shoulder blades down the back. Soften the neck. And let's start to lift up into our tabletop pose on hands and knees. We'll thread the needle to open up the chest and shoulders. As you inhale, reach your right arm up, and on the exhale, you're going to swing that right arm through so the shoulder and the ear either lower to the floor or you can lower your head on your block. Left hand can reach and extend forward. Focus on drawing that left shoulder blade down the back and pressing just a little bit through that right arm. We're trying to open up the space between the shoulder blades. So breathe into the upper body. Feel your rib cage expand front to back and side to side. Keep your hips aligned directly over the knees. Notice if they've shifted to the right a little bit. The key here is to not tense up the neck or the jaw. Left hand comes back, press and make your way up, re-extend the right fingertips up high, and then tabletop pose, we'll switch to the other side. So inhale, left arm reaches up, and exhale, swing it through. This time your left ear and left shoulder come to the floor. Get comfortable here and the right arm can extend. Palm is pressing into the floor to help you twist a little bit deeper. Roll the right shoulder down and away from the ear. Relax your head. And again, just notice if the hips are swaying to the left. Try to keep them stacked directly over the top of your knees. And if you are new to the practice of yoga, we generally breathe in and out through the nose. And without necessarily trying to force your breath, see if you can get your inhale to be just as long as the exhale. It might help to count up to 4 or 5 when you breathe in, and finding that same count when you breathe out. Right hand comes back, let's re-extend our way up, left fingertips to the sky. And left palm comes down to the floor. Now you might want to walk your hands a couple inches forward, lifting up to downward dog. Hands are shoulder width distance apart, feet are hip width distance apart. Go ahead and bend the knees, sway the hips, reach your chest to your thighs, create some space here in down dog. Lifting the tailbone up and back, softening the neck so the head can be heavy, press into the fingertips and spread the fingers wide. Let's reach our right leg up to the sky, bend the right knee, open up that hip, squeezing into the glutes. And you're going to step that right foot forward to the top of the mat. Let your left knee come down to the floor for your low lunge. So right knee is over the ankle. Bring your right hand to your thigh and push the thigh away from you to start twisting. Draw the right shoulder back. You can either stay here leaning on your left hand, or you can extend the right hand back and catch a hold of your left foot as you draw that heel into the glute. So taking a deeper quad stretch. You may or may not be able to hold on to that foot. If you cannot, it's fine. Just stay in your twist with your right hand on your thigh. Release the back foot, fingertips to the ground. Let's straighten our right leg and fold over the right thigh. So this is your runner stretch, or some people call it half splits. You might need to bend the right knee a little bit, especially if the hamstrings are really tight. And if the floor is too far away, you can put your block underneath your hands. Notice if you're tempted to hold your breath here. Keep it slow and steady. We bend our right knee, hands to the mat, step it back, downward facing dog. Find the length through the legs and through the chest. Left leg reaches up, bend your left knee, open up that hip. Stretching into the hip flexors, and we take our low lunge. Left foot forward, right knee down. Come up onto the fingertips so you can feel the chest lift, pulling the shoulders back. And we'll be easing our way into our twist on the other side. So as you keep your hips pressing down, bring your left hand to your left thigh and maybe flatten your right hand to the floor. Pull the left shoulder back. And if you'd like to go a little further into this pose, this time your left arm would reach toward the back of the mat. And maybe bend your right knee as you pull your heel into the glute. So it's not about lifting your hips up to meet your heel. It's about keeping your hips low and pulling the foot into you. Stay with your breath. And release. Moving into your half split, so fingertips to the ground, straighten your left leg and fold over that thigh. Really flex into that foot so your toes point straight up. This will help you stretch into the ankle and the back of the calf as well. Especially if you are running, this is something you really want to make sure that you're targeting. Keep your hips squared. Notice how the right one wants to pull back sometimes. Keep it facing straight forward. And we bend our left knee, plant the palms, downward facing dog. Feet are hip width distance apart. Lengthen out through the arms. And then let your knees come down to the floor, swing your legs out in front of you. Sitting up nice and tall. Your left leg will go forward, and you're going to bend your right knee so the right foot goes to the inside of that left thigh. On the inhale, reach your arms up. And then exhale, lean forward and start to fold over that left thigh. Be careful not to round your spine here. Hold on to whatever you can. Maybe not the toes, maybe it's just the shin. Focus on drawing the shoulders back so the chest is lifted and stay long through both sides of the waist. Start to lift back up and plant your right hand back behind you. Swing your left arm up and over, press into the legs and lift the hips up. This should feel like a really nice side body stretch. You can lean it back even more if you'd like. Full breath in here. And the hips lower back down. Face forward again. You're going to bend the right knee, lifting it up, and you're going to cross your right foot over the top of your left thigh. We're preparing for a seated twist. So wrap your left arm around your right thigh, bring your right fingertips back behind you, and start to draw the right shoulder back as you open up the chest. So your hips and legs face forward. You're really just unraveling into the upper body. Maybe looking over your right shoulder if that's comfortable. Notice if you're slouching. Try to sit up a little taller in this twist. And let's release, face forward once more. You can uncross the legs and we'll switch sides. So this time the left foot goes to the inside of your right thigh. Inhale, arms reach up overhead, stay long. Exhale, fold over your right leg. Don't worry about keeping that right leg perfectly straight. If it needs to bend, that's totally fine. Especially if you're working with any injuries in your hamstrings or in your low back, you want to be really mindful of that. Feel the right heel press into the floor as you pull your heart forward and lengthen through the spine. Slow, steady breaths in and out through the nose. Lift back up, plant your left hand behind you, reach your right arm up and over as you press into the legs to lift the hips up. Feel the stretch from the right fingertips all the way down into that right foot. Bring your hips back down to the mat. We'll come into our seated twist. So lift the left knee up and cross your left foot over the right thigh. Wrap your right arm around your knee, left fingertips behind you. Pull the left shoulder back as you open up the chest. Plant down firmly through all 5 toes of that left foot. Think of sitting up a little bit taller and softening the shoulders away from your ears. Draw the navel into the low back. One more breath in the pose. And you can turn to face forward once more. You can cross at the ankles, plant your hands back. We'll meet in downward dog, pressing into the heels, staying long through the spine. Reach your right leg up to the sky and bring your right knee behind your right wrist. We're coming into pigeon pose. Stretch your left leg back behind you. So if your right hip doesn't go all the way down to the floor, you might want to put a block underneath it. Otherwise, you can just fold straight down. Alternatively, if the head or the chest is up pretty high off the floor, putting a block underneath you can make the pose a lot more comfortable. This is one of the best poses that you can do following a workout, especially if it was intense for the lower body. Imagine you can breathe directly into that right hip and right glute. Notice if you're rolling on one side more than the other. Try to keep your weight evenly distributed. And as much as possible, we want our arms and our chest to be completely relaxed. Notice if your mind wants to wander. Walk the palms in, slowly come on up. We meet back in our down dog. Do any little movements here that feel good just to get the blood flowing again through that right leg, maybe some hip circles. And we'll go to the other side, so left leg up. And then your left knee behind your left wrist. Stretch your right leg back behind you. Square off your hips to the top of the mat. Maybe put a block underneath your left glute, or you can just fold straight down. Without leaning too much on your left hip, keep some of it still in that right leg. Notice if the shoulders or the upper body is still trying to work. Just a few more breaths. And let's start to lift our way back up. Back into your downward facing dog. Do any little movements here that feel good for your hips. And we're going to lower our way onto our backs. Make sure you have your block or your big pillow somewhere close by. So as you lay down here, you'll need to keep your knees bent and your feet flat to the floor. Just lift your hips and put your block underneath you on the lowest level is perfectly fine. And from here, you're just going to extend your legs straight up to the sky. This is another one of my favorite poses if you've done a lot of running or cycling, anything that really requires you to use your legs, or even if you just spend a lot of the time or during the day on your feet. This is a really great way to let your legs and lower body relax. A very gentle inversion with your hips slightly higher than your heart. Really allow yourself to fully soften here. The knees can be slightly bent. The legs might sway a little or they might be still. Just feel the blood totally drain and totally soften. So the upper body can be grounded and the legs can almost feel weightless. If you get distracted here easily, just bring your awareness back to your breath. The knees can start to bend, letting your feet come back to the floor. Lift your hips and move the block out. Pull your knees into your belly, giving them a big squeeze, maybe rock a little bit side to side, massaging the low back. Notice if there's any residual tension there that needs to be acknowledged. And we'll be making our way into Shavasana, our final resting pose, stretching out the legs and the arms and taking up some space as much as you need to. Shrug your shoulders down and away from the ears. Turn the palms to face up. Allow the eyes to close. Every yoga class finishes in Shavasana. This is your opportunity to integrate all of the work that you've done. It's almost like digesting after a big meal. So notice the differences in your mind and in your body now, as opposed to when you first stepped onto your mat. And we want to quiet down the mind as much as possible. So thoughts will come and go, but instead of getting too caught up in them or attached to them, picture them as clouds floating and drifting along the sky. We'll take our last few minutes here together in stillness. this is where I will leave you. If you would like to stay longer in Shavasana, you are of course welcome to do so. Thank you so very much for doing this practice with me. I do hope that you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel to make sure that you are notified of all my new classes. I put a new one out every single Thursday, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought. I have a few spots left in my upcoming Iceland yoga retreat in August 2017. The details for that retreat are down in the description box if you're interested in coming with me. It's really going to be the adventure of a lifetime. Thank you so much, guys. Namaste.